Motorbikes are good. Riding motorbikes is even better. The last time I rode a Kawasaki Versys 1000, as it was then, was to do a feature called 5 Epic Welsh Roads, where we basically went around and found my favourite roads in Wales. Now, since then, loads of people have come up and said they really enjoyed that feature and they really enjoyed the slightly offbeat choice of roads I came up with. So we're going to do it again. This time on the new improved Versys 1100, and now down in the southwest coast of England. We're starting here in Porlock on the North Devonshire coast. We're going to do the same as last time, find some small, tiny, sketchy crisp spec roads, scenic roads, fast flowing cornery roads, coast roads, and a little bonus treat road too. Now the Versys 1100 has changed a fair bit from that last model. Most importantly, 15 more horsepower. Who doesn't want more power? This SE Grand Tourer has got electronic suspension, it's got cornering lights, USB-C connectivity, and full luggage. But more importantly than all of that, it's got that brilliant big 4-cylinder smooth Kawasaki feeling that lets you munch up miles and then enjoy a good thrash when the roads get fun, which we're going to do right now. This is Porlock, well, this is Porlock Weir, I think, but it's a mega little spot. It's a nice hotel, good breakfast there, and it lines us up nicely for our first stop on Chris's Magical Mystery Tour, which in this case, whew, all good? It's a U-turn test. I'm having 2 bites at it and I'm not sorry. Which in this case is the Porlock toll road. This toll road this is effectively the category on our last one was mountain passes, but on account of there being no mountains in the West Country, I've modified it to just be cool roads. And the Porlock toll road is a cool road because it was put in years ago because the main road at this point, the A39, is insanely steep. There's a hairpin on this bit of the A39 that's like a proper first gear, and it's a long pull up, like a modern car will go up it. I tried to tow a heavy trailer with a Suzuki Jeep up there once and I couldn't get out of first gear and I boiled my brakes on the other side. So as you can imagine, cars in the 1940s and 50s would struggle to get up there, so the toll road was a shallower gradient alternative to slogging up the main A39. Nowadays it's just a quaint little alternative to the main road and I love it, and I've actually driven this in a car rally. I did a stage rally down here years ago in a Mark II Escort, and this was a tarmac stage, so it was being a private road, they can do things like that. And yeah, we got to drive this road from the toll gate up here as a proper tarmac rally stage, absolutely flat out. It was fantastic. And I've sort of loved it ever since. There you go. No responsibility attached to the owner of this road for carnage, injury suffered from any cause whatsoever. To the state of the road, love it. Right, let me find my monies. First stop, the Porlock toll road. A brilliantly quaint little bit of Englishness, especially because it says on the ticket stub all communications need to go to the Countess. I love it. This isn't a road you're having to scrape your pegs on and stretch the throttle cables, throttle wires as it is these days. It's more just a nice little twisty back lane through some stunning countryside for a little bit of a nice deviation from the main road. Especially because the A39 can get incredibly busy at times, so this is a nice little respite from squeezing past caravans. It's pretty rough at the moment in the winter, but thankfully no frost at the moment. I've done enough skidding around on black ice this morning to last me a lifetime. The private rally stage. So there's actually 2 toll roads. This is the Worthy toll road,
not the Porlock toll road, and the Porlock one is a little bit further inland. So if you come in, you can have a check out and ride both if you fancy it. The Worthy toll road is a bit prettier, a bit more picturesque with the toll gate and the arch, and the Porlock toll road is a longer, better ride of a road. Ta-da! So just to complete the set, the Worthy toll road is the one with the beautiful stone arch bridge. Really, really pretty. A little bit more off-roady. It's a bit rough and concreted and mud all over it, but really, really picturesque. Got a cool little toll gate through the archway. The second toll road by Porlock is the Porlock toll road. This is the one that I've done a rally stage on. This is the one that the Somerset Stages Rally used to use as a tarmac stage, which was absolutely phenomenal. Imagine this fully closed off and the ability to go absolutely flat chat all the way down it. Best day ever. I actually enjoy riding this Porlock one more than the Worthy one. This is a bit more of a riding road. It's a bit more vision, wider. It's not all covered in mud. So if you want adventure-y, slightly more rough and ready off-roady, and a prettier toll gate, go Worthy. If you want a fun blast through the woods, Porlock. And if you want a big steep climb and a hairpin, the main A39. Or you can zigzag and do all three for the full set, which is what I'm going to do today. So we're now going to head from Porlock. We've ticked off all the toll roads and the A39, and now we're going to head down to Hartland Key for our next stop, which is a coast road, a scenic coast road. Always love coast roads. Hartland Key is particularly special because it's a really, really stunning bit of coastline, and it's the site where they hold a hill climb. I believe they still hold it, called the Hartland Key Hill Climb. It's a tarmac hill climb. I raced it years ago on a Honda Dominator. I promise not all of these roads are just roads I've ridden on race events. Did you know I used to race? Something that the Versys does so well, and I think is probably the standout feature of this bike, is smoothness. Bang on about it all the time, but Kawasaki 4-cylinder engines, they're just so smooth. Ollie described it as being like a turbine power. It just and off it roars. But the fact that it's so smooth, it's such a easy, forgiving bike to ride. The clutch is really light and there's no grab to it. There's plenty of feel. So when you're trying to do a U-turn on a muddy, slippery lane, it doesn't grab and snatch and pull at your hands. The bike's well balanced. It's not too top heavy, so when you're a bit off camera and you can't get your footing, it doesn't immediately topple over. But earlier when I was hunting a little photo location, Ollie jumped on the back of this, and he quite often ends up jumping on and off the back of the bike that I'm riding to get between spots. And I sort of slipped and lost my balance as he climbed on, and the bike went right over, well past the balance point, and I thought for sure it was going to end up on the deck. And it didn't. I've got a good footing because the seat's not too high, so I can get my feet down nicely. And it just sort of wobbled a bit, and I wedged my foot in the floor and managed to pull it back upright, which, yeah, just underlines my point. This thing is so forgiving. And while that's not a headline figure that makes people get excited about a bike, it's a bike that just makes everyday riding easier, so you can get on with enjoying your trip, enjoying the scenery, enjoying finding fantastic roads like this one. This is one of my favourite bits of road. This is Contesbury Hill. So I'm including the coast road section, basically this ride from Porlock all the way across to Hartland Key on the A39 at this point. I mean, look at that. That is absolutely glorious. Stunning, stunning bit of road. And beautifully empty at this time of year, which makes me very happy. So off the A39 onto this road, which heads us out to Hartland Key. And just as you pop over the top here, you're hit with exactly why I picked this one as one of my favourite coast roads. Because look at that. It looks like the road just disappears into the sea. You get that shot of the headland going down. On a sunny day it's beautiful, on a rough day it's absolutely wild, it's fully epic. And as a hill climb location it's fantastic. It's such a fun road to race up. But yeah, that's why, despite the roads around Hartland Key not being the most amazing coast roads, that title goes to that section of A39 just after Porlock. But look at that. That is a coastline. But no visit to Hartland Key would be complete without a little run up and down of the Hartland Key hill climb. So, effectively, start line around here somewhere. Everyone gathers in here, but that hairpin's your first corner. Get around here. Fewer pedestrians on race day. Then up here in this corner, look at that big and that tiny little wall to catch you if it goes wrong. Pitch in there hard, over the seam change, back in again hard. A little wheelie over the hop, and then these two fast lefts. One, up and run it out. Back into the second one. Whoop. Little right-hander. And then over the finish. That is Hartland Hill Climb, which in 2026 is in March and October. If you look on the NHCA, which is the National Hill Climb Association, that'll give you the dates for the race. Come and have a watch, come and get entered. Last time I did it, they had a line that said, anyone caught drinking at lunchtime won't be allowed to race in the afternoon, which I thought was pretty funny because there's a bar at the bottom of the hill. But there you go. Hartland Key, awesome coast place to go if you're heading to the southwest. Off to our next location now. Still hanging along the North Devon and Cornwall coast. We are heading to Chris's favourite type of road, which is tiny, sketchy, single-track Supermoto roads. The one I've got in mind runs from just the other side of Bude, so Widemouth Bay, to a little village called Crackington Haven. Particularly like it because it's got lots of jumps, lots of crests, steep downhills, steep hairpins, right up high on the headland. This one's a sort of standout one, but this type of road, the North Cornwall coast, is absolutely amazing for. Oh, that's a Chris road, look at that, look how much mud's on it. Good job we got traction control. Now we come to our next little landmark, Widemouth Bay, or Widemouth Bay if you want to wind the locals up. So, nice little beach, do some van camping there, some surfing, and all of the North Cornwall cliche things that you have to do when you go to the beach. But most importantly, if you follow the road along the back of Widemouth Bay, as you get to the other end of the bay, get rid of the U, no longer relevant. And we come up and out of the bay, and then you go around a left-hand bend. I think there's a red post box on the outside of it. You turn right there. I think there's a sign that says, "Danger, tiny road, abandon hope, all ye who enter here." That is where we go. Unsuitable for long vehicles. Yeah, it is. Into here now. Haha, this is the Chris road. Small, rough, steep, winding, hanging on the edge of the cliff. Stupid hairpins, mud and gravel. Best road in the world, this. Look at the state of that. It's not a road anymore, it's a trail. Whoop.
Perhaps our smugness about how we found good weather in January was maybe a little bit too soon. Just after we finished shooting yesterday, we wanted to get 2 more roads done, and the cloud just descended, and we rode, I think, for an hour and 3/4 at 15 to 20 mile an hour, because that was as fast as you could see, and eventually got back to the pub. Yeah, only about 6:30, something like that. But yeah, should have known better. Should have known better than to trust it. But we have proved that you can get out and have a mega ride, regardless of the conditions. Just be prepared to embrace what comes. This part of the world is an absolute gem, especially at this time of the year. I've ridden in the sort of North Cornwall, Devon coastal area loads over the years, and when the weather's great and it's warm and it's summer, everybody else knows that. So all of your favourite roads will be cluttered with Volkswagen transporters and caravans, as far as I can tell, which does take the edge off enjoying it. So you've either got to get up at the crack of dawn to ride it in the summer, or just come down, roll the dice with the weather, and hey, if you get a great day, it's a massive bonus. And if you get a wet day, just stick on some waterproofs and enjoy it anyway. Now, over the last 2 days of riding, this Kawasaki Versys has effectively repeated what it did last time. When I rode the Versys 1000, I had a few friends, and my uncle particularly rides them a lot, and he kept saying, oh, you need to try one, and I kept looking at it and going, I'm not that bothered, if you're honest. There's a Panigale over there, and there's a ZX-10 over there, and there's a Z900 RS that I really like the look of, and maybe I'm a bit superficial, but I couldn't get excited about riding one. And then when we did that 5 best roads in Wales feature, it blew me away. It just did the job so well, and I enjoyed every minute on it. This time we've actually pushed the comfort conditions a little bit harder. We left in freezing conditions, rode horrible, icy, sketchy roads, then had a real nice bit where the weather came good and we rode some dry corners, heaven forbid. And over the rest of the day, had these ups and downs of warm, cold, wet, dry, terrible visibility, tired, big mileage, and every step of the way, this bike was just the tool for the job. It has done nothing to annoy me, and that sounds like a weird thing to say, but yesterday I rode for 13.5 hours, something like that, which was brilliant. That sounded like a brag, but I was really enjoying myself. Riding bikes for that long is always a good thing. But by the end of the day, I was getting cold, definitely tired, hungry because we didn't stop for any food or anything, we just kept going. And in that situation, there's nearly always something about a bike that winds me up. Something that you just find irritating or hard to deal with. Now, whether that's, you know, an awkward to get side stand when you stop, or hard to find neutral, or a feeling through the clutch or the steering that makes you a bit more nervous. But genuinely, there wasn't a single thing on this bike that didn't help me. When the conditions got horrendous, the cornering lights on that Exmoor misty fog, impossible to see, made life really easy. I had the fog light switched on, which lit up the verges, which let me see a bit more than I would have done with just the regular headlight. I actually turned them off to see if there was a benefit. There was. The electronic suspension meant that for 1 minute yesterday I could be charging around fast flowing smooth A roads, and then 10 minutes later clattering down a bumpy, horrible, rough single track road. It coped with all of it. When I was doing 47 U-turns on a tiny single track steep hairpin, it was balanced, it was easy, the clutch was predictable, it did the same thing every time. It just feels like a bike that has been designed, built, developed, refined, polished, and then they've gone back to the beginning and gone, right, what can we do better? How can we improve that? How can we polish it more? How can we, do you see what I mean? It's not a bike that's been leapt forward in technology every 5 years. It's not a bike that pushes the boundaries of what suspension and what kit you can get on motorcycles. It's a bike that takes the kind of basic touring, adventure touring style bike and has just refined it to make all those edges a bit smoother, to make everything work a little bit better. And in doing that, they've made a bike that is so useful, so easy to get on with, and so easy to ride. Now, sadly, the Versys hasn't shot to the top of my bikes Chris would love to buy list, because I'm a whimsical flim-flam lover of stupid things and discomfort and awkward bikes and bikes that have got so much character they're almost unrideable. And the Versys would never top my list because it's just a bit too good, it's too polished. But I think I'm in the minority when it comes to touring and travelling. And if you're someone who wants a bike that is there for you, whatever riding you do, and makes every single trip, whether it's a 4-hour slog across northern France on drizzly motorways, or a blast around Welsh back roads, this bike does it all and does it very, very well. And I think if you add to that the value for money, especially in the base model, which is just 13.5 grand, something like that, what you've got in the Versys, from the top spec one that I've been riding right through to the base model at 13.5 grand, is a really good value, incredibly useful motorcycle. It is no nonsense, no frills, it just does the job and does it well, and I love that. Maybe what they need to do is make a supercharged Versys for idiots like me who want all of that but a little bit of wild as well. Are you listening, Kawasaki? That's what we need. We need a supercharged Versys, please. So there you have it. Don't wait for the summer. Don't wait to plan that big special trip. Don't put things off because you're waiting for the ideal moment to go for a ride. Just take a random couple of days off and ride to somewhere near home, somewhere in the UK, somewhere that you can find some good roads, get a kip in a nice local pub for the night and ride again the next day. It's the best thing to do when everyone else is sat moaning about the weather and how it's not safe to ride bikes in it. Just don't worry. Just get out and ride it and you'll deal with whatever comes along. This little section of North Cornwall, North Devon has been a haunt of mine whenever I've had enough time off to get down here, for years and years, and I love riding it. It has got busier, especially throughout the summers, but you can still find times like this when it's quiet and you can go and really enjoy the roads. Now, we picked probably my favourite roads of the area, but I'm not a local. I come here and ride 2 or 3 times a year. If you live local and you know some good roads, whack them in the comments below, because we would love to come and try some of them out. But I think we've done a good spread of fast flowing roads, scenic roads, and crazy, silly single track with jumps, which for me ticks all the boxes of riding a motorcycle. And don't forget to check out the Hartland Key hill climb as well. If you get a chance to come and watch that, that is a brilliant event, and you may catch us there on one of our project bikes sometime in the next couple of years.